Hello guys. So this is a video about what is slippage in blockchain. Like why does slippage happen in DeFi protocols? So what is slippage? So the definition of slippage is here. The ChatGPT gave me. Slippage in blockchain, especially in DeFi trading, refers to the difference between expected price of a trade and the actual executed price. Like if you are expecting 1 ETH but you are getting 0.99 ETH, this is a slippage. So let me show you why does it happen. Okay, so let's start. Let's suppose 1 minute. Yeah. Let's suppose there is an AMM with 2000 DAI and 10 ETH in liquidity. Okay, 2000 DAI liquidity and 10 Ethereum liquidity. Okay, so from this we can say is what we can say is 1 ETH is equal to 200 DAI. Okay, so now in this position, if I give 1 ETH, I will get 200 DAI, and vice versa. Like if I give 2000 DAI, I'll get 1 Ethereum. Okay, fine. Okay, so if after I do the transaction, let me show you what happens. This is the expected price. Okay, I will get this. After what will happen after transaction is after transaction. So I am giving the system 2000 DAI. Okay, give 2000 DAI and get 1 ETH. Okay, so the new liquidity amount is 2200 DAI and 9 ETH. Fine, it is good. Okay, 9 ETH. Now, if another person wanna do the transaction now, okay, if if I wanna do another transaction now, what will happen is the price of the Ethereum and DAI is now changed. Okay, let me show you what is happening here. Like if now I want 1 Ethereum, I have to pay. I'll show you how much I have to pay. Okay, this will be 2200 slash 9. Let me show you the calculator. Show up the calculator. Okay, that is 2200 slash 9. This much of it I have to give. Yeah, sorry, this much of DAI I have to give in order to get 1 Ethereum. Okay, so this amount is 244.44. So you can see the difference here. How much difference is created? Like previously, uh, it was 2000. So 2000 is 200. Now it is 244. So difference is 2.44 roughly minus 200. That is equal to 44 DAI. So okay, so this is what happens. This is the mechanism behind the slippage. But okay, you can say if you can say like if person one is doing a transaction, okay, and after that another person is doing the transaction, then person one is expecting some amount, and person two is expecting another amount. Okay, like you can say it, but in real life it doesn't happen. It also happens that two-person is trying to do this transaction at the same time, but still get less DAI, and one another person get more DAI, or does not experience slippage, and another person experience slippage. Why does it happen is this AMM or DeFi protocols works on a concept called mempool, where all the transactions are stored and then it is executed based on their priority fee. Okay, so gas fees are made up of, like, gas fees is equal to, 1 minute, equal to base fee plus priority fee. Okay, so this priority fee def- uh, decides the order of the transactions, like which transaction should go first. Okay, let me give you an example. Like, Alice wants to do a transaction, and Bob also tries to do a transaction, wants to do a transaction. Okay, so they are all expecting, if I give 200 die, I will get 1 E. Okay, they are both expecting if they give 200 die, they will get 1 E. Okay, and vice versa. Like, if they give 1 E, they will get 200 die. Okay, but let me tell you, this will not get executed. Why? Because they will get lesser amount, like Bob will get lesser amount. Okay, because the priority fee of the transaction of Bob is lesser than the transaction fee of Alice. Who- Like, now, if Alice gives 200 die, then she will get 1 E. Okay, for Alice. For Alice. This is the transaction. But uh, if the transaction of Alice is executed first, then what Bob has to pay is, he has to pay 244 die in order to get 1 E. This is the transaction for Bob. But you can say they both send the transaction at the same time, but they are not getting the same amount of ETH, or for same amount of die. Why is it happening? Because of the priority fee. This one thing decides which transaction will go first. Maybe that 1 minute. Maybe the transaction transaction of Alice was executed first, and then the Bob's transaction was executed. Sorry for the mistake here. Was executed. This is why it is happening. Now there are some of the AMMs who follows sequels, which doesn't let it happen. Like, they will show you that if you give if you only if you give 244 die, you will get 1 ETH. It will not show you 200 die for 1 ETH. It will show 244 die for 1 ETH. These AMMs are advanced, but still some of the old AMM still follows this architecture of mempool, and the slippage still happens, and it is a real thing. I am showing you this much of slippage because I have taken a very less amount of die and ETH liquidity. If in real cases these liquidities are in billions, so the slippage is very small, like it is almost negligible. But sometimes if you do a bigger transaction, it is not negligible. That is why there are some attacks happening in real life. There are some attacks based on this priority fee. We will talk about that in another video. So I hope you understood what is happening in this slippage thing. Okay, like it is happening because the first transaction what is happening is Alice's TX transaction. Then happening is Bob transaction. That is why the slippage happens. Like Alice was doing a transaction when she gave 200 die and took out 1 ETH. But after this happens, the system now has 200 die and 9 ETH. So Bob has to pay because his transaction was uh, transaction was executed later. He has to pay 244 die in order to get 1 ETH. That is why the slippage is happening in real life. I hope you understood this. If you have any questions, you can say it in the comment section of this video. Thank you.